As DDM has evolved over the years, we've added to the functionality to make it a more complete product. Back in 1996, we started with pure CAD data management, parts, assemblies and drawings that linked into the CAD tool. We then started to manage bills and materials. We added document management for all of the other supporting information. We then added folders to manage different business processes like new product development, customer projects, change orders, etc., all of the quality management side of things. We then introduced a graphical workflow engine so that we could automate and streamline those processes that we were dealing with. Then we moved into some of the project management style capabilities, which are the various sort of supporting attributes for projects like the RACI attributes and your timeline attributes, and also project actions, so tasks, milestones, requirements, etc. We've always had a web client, but we've been redeveloping the web client, and what that's led to is the introduction of communication within DDM. So we're starting to pull all of this into a single efficient area, but all of the conversations and the communication between users and customers and suppliers, etc., was happening outside of the database. So we've now introduced threaded sort of social media style communication tools into DDM. We all use email for official communication and correspondence. And if you did a sort of a study on it, it's desperately inefficient. I think because we're all so used to using it, we don't really think about it. It's just second nature. Our subconscious mind deals with all of it. But if you actually look at email, I might send an email and copy 3 or 4 different people who are involved in what's going on. The people who are copied on that email can all respond independently, copying the same people or the same and more, for example. And this can happen over a period of time, and ultimately what you end up with is many emails that are all part of the same conversation that don't necessarily all contain all of the information. The last email that you get doesn't necessarily contain everything that everybody said, because it depends on how they did it and when they sent it. So the reality is we end up going through emails making sure we haven't missed anything. That's really inefficient. So, bringing the communication inside DDM as a social media style threaded conversation means that we're all involved, we're all commenting, but there's only one comment. Everybody can see that. It will tell me whether I've read it or not. And that conversation is happening against the project or the action or the document or the part, whatever it is we're working on. Those conversations are actually linked to the relevant piece of information. So it's all in context, it's all held within a single database, and it's all there for audit trail. For me, it makes absolute sense. And the more I get into it and the more I use it, the more I think it's going to be really useful for businesses. If somebody leaves a company, who goes through their Outlook to find all of the important emails or something you might rely on, but you might have made a commitment or a promise or set an expectation? Somebody leaves a company, who's going to go through their Outlook file or whatever email tool that you use? If we can keep a lot of this conversation inside the database, it's there forever. So what we've done in introducing this into DDM is we're all used to using these sort of social media platforms, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, all of these tools. They all work in a similar way. So our subconscious mind knows how to use these tools. We've not tried to do it any different, because that would be wrong. But we've tried to make sure that the levels of conversation are kept absolutely as they should be, because when you're having for example, a technical conversation, it's really important that we understand what it is we're talking about. Okay, what we've also done is made it so that when you're in the web client, at the very top level of the web client, you can see, have I got any unread messages? If you go into that area, it will list all of your unread messages. You've got the option as well to say, well, show me actually all of my ones that I've read or unread. I can respond to those messages from that top level. So I don't have to necessarily go down to the object that we're talking about to be able to reply to a comment. I can, if I understand what I'm looking at, I can respond at the very top level. Alternatively, if I click on the message, it will take me down to the object that we're having the conversation about, and it will show me at that level how many unread messages I've got as well. So we're all pretty excited about this new communication capability within DDM. We're trying to make it as easy as possible so that it's very easy for people to adopt and use. Real good, simple visibility. We're already using it within CSI because we use DDM to manage our own internal projects for document and process management, etc. So all great, all exciting, and we're pretty convinced it's going to make a big difference to our customers. I think most businesses are getting to the point where they're looking for some sort of official messaging platform as opposed to things being outside in an uncontrolled email environment.